one of the things that this is making a lot of us think about is that supply chain. And one of the areas that is very concerning is the amount of our medicine and pharmaceuticals that we have handed over to the Chinese to produce. And I know this is something that's very important to you as well. How quickly can we ramp up that production here at home? What does that look like?
Well, for example, I'll give you another example. Honeywell offered on Friday. They called my office. They say, look, we want to start producing within 30 days the face masks. We can open up a plant in Smithfield, Rhode Island. All we need to do is have you help us work with HHS to get the ball rolling. So on Friday, I said, okay, get your contract in. They got it in by that night. I called HHS over the weekend and said, yeah, we're going to flip that within a couple of days. And already we have Honeywell moving towards that. So what it looks like is having the appropriate incentives for our domestic industry to produce these things like face masks and hand sanitizer and all the things we need. And what we need long term, Martha, this is the problem we face. The government does not buy American enough. The government, the VA, HHS, DOD, tremendously large consumers of medicines, medical supplies, and medical equipment. And so I'm working with the president as we speak to get an executive order to the finish line, which would provide long-term incentives for our companies to produce here. And this is not about China, because if you look at the dispersion of that chain, it's across the world. Europe, for example, Ireland, surprisingly enough, Germany, Switzerland, we're heavily dependent on there, India as well. So what we've got to do is through the three things, Martha. We're going to have Buy American, we're going to deregulate so we can get things here done faster, and most importantly, we're going to innovate to keep prices down. There's a process called advanced manufacturing that we're working in lightning speed to get switches flipped on there. So that's the big picture. We cannot keep having these public health crises and go back to sleep like the previous administrations have. This is going to be different this time, and we're going to get through this, and we're going to be in a better place over time because we're going to produce things here in America.
你这叫啥吧？把这工作证拿来看一下。要武汉战役的嘛？工作证我要拿看一下，你。我不想给你看，我给谁看都可以给谁看，不需要。是的，不需要给我看是吧？你的态度很不好，我每个星期回来的时候，我都很配合别人，是因为你在骂人。我什么时候骂了？我都录音了，你让我放。放我听一下，我什么时候骂了？我就让你放。不值得。你放，好像是你说不跟我废话。你录了音得给我听一下，你可以告我。我现在还有采访任务。可以告我。来，到车上去把衣服拿一件。我还要这样了，我还要说我什么时候骂过他了？你把我骂你的视频录音给警长，你看让开。
那你的叫什么名字？
吴柳。
上面都有。我凭这个工作出行证，而且我们单位都已经扫码了。他跟我纠缠，我当时急着要回去把孩子的东西拿着，完了之后要赶上咱单位去采访，他有很多的工作任务，他一直在跟我纠缠。上个星期我都配合另外一个男同事非常配合，他态度不好，指手画脚，是我骂骂咧咧，让开，你不配合我讲。是你自己骂骂咧咧好不好？是你自己指手画脚了好不好？我指了你什么？我都录像了，是你指我还是我指你？
这等我们到派出所去看，对。
到哪里去？
派出所。
我现在要采访。
先到派出所去把这个事情处理了再说。
怎么处理啊？
你们两个之间有纠纷，然后我们警方要介入要调解这个事情，问清楚相关的情况，有没有？
不存在调解，你可以把我抓起来。
我没有说抓你们，我现在到派出所都配合调查就行。
我没办法配合。
你再知道吧，嚣张到什么地步吧？
先回去。刘队长，先回去。
他家么事？
5六。
还要开发什么？
你给他们盖到上道哎，对吧？
医生，你们警察有没有办法？
不走了，我们也不能强行的吧？他们根本就没有具体的发现。
好，大家跟着我走啊，克服一下啊！好，跟着啊！
来深圳之后，感觉最好的事情就是隔离了。我一个人手撕了差不多6000多台的苹果手机那个胶膜，大家都是冲着这个7000块钱过来的吧？但是有些人来做2、3天就走了。嗨，大家好，我是阿彪，27岁了，在深圳富士康工作了有5年多，跟大家分享一下最近疫情富士康复工的状况。今天是隔离的第6天，我就要搬回原来住的地方了，因为前几天那个可酸合格了嘛，然后今天的话就搬离这个鬼宿舍，现在出发回原来宿舍，但是宿舍已经住满了，我感觉还是隔离那边好一点。鬼宿舍虽然好像坐牢一样，但是那里只有2个人1间房子，还有包吃包住，还有工资拿。这是我来深圳之后感觉最好的事情就是隔离了，真的没有比这个更爽的。明天我就要上班了，就带大伙瞧一下现在富士康的现状。空无一人，要么上班，要么就是在宿舍待着，哪里都不能去。给大伙看一下现在吸烟区的规矩，下面这些点它是只能在这个点站着上抽烟，然后它不能扎堆了，都是关门状态。走了几个快餐厅都是没开门，吃饭的话都要打包走，不能在餐馆吃。4菜1汤，随便选那个菜就是10块钱，还有肉吃。这个算多少钱？200。待了那么久，有点不习惯了。突然间上班，心情有点不怎么想上班，但是没办法，为了赚钱。吃完早餐后开始上班了，大家都走得很快，怕迟到。迟到的话就没有搬家，没有搬家就等于这个月。
到了一个500的。赶紧走，你们赶紧走！啊，到了个500的。
你看上去是嘛丫头啊？种这个树个好么花样，还能招溜呢，还挺旺，种这一根儿，横横的。咱家头一回看见呀。
不是，怎么招的？这平白无故的，怎么这树都招我了？多少钱一回去？
中根山冲过火山了。哎，那个山中根都掉头了。哎呀，我的亲娘哎，要命，要100伤人。
手跟脚都捆绑好之后，然后才能抬上车，不然的话都抬不了他的了，因为他脚拼命踢我们，手也是拼命抓车我们。
在这1个星期之内有3起报警，这个小偷在现场有其他贵重的物品，他也不会拿，他只会拿一些食物、辣椒酱、面包什么一些食品。后来他说他是暂住在一个下水管道通，时不时都会有水流着的。然后他那里是在涵洞那里垫了一块板子，
身份证丢了，然后手机也丢了，立马也没有。
那你坐这水潭边上这个洞，这个水要满上的呀？
满就满呗。
这晚上坐在这里不害怕吗？
怕呀，有点难受，就是离的时候真的有点可怕，感觉有恐怖。
Biggest purification, and I want to say sorry for America. Sorry for bringing the Chinese virus to the U.S. Sorry for being silent about what the CCP has done to conceal the truth and benefit the dissemination of Wuhan virus. Sorry for selfish buying in bulk. Sorry for spreading misinformation via WeChat, saying that the American army brought the virus to Wuhan. It's wrong. Sorry for any inconvenience of the virus. I also feel sorry for Japanese, Korean, Taiwanese, and other Asians who are wrongly recognized and treated as Chinese. I am a Chinese, so I'm responsible for all bad things that the Chinese has done and the Chinese government has done. Like German today still say sorry for Jewish people for the genocide. And now the virus is killing more than that genocide. And the biggest fault is to allow that the CCP to lie and we don't stand up to oppose it. It is our fault. I know that Chinese exclusion is happening and it's happening and it is inescapable. And I fully understand the hatred towards Chinese. Eventually, if my family and I are innocent to get involved with this virus because of the evil regime, and meanwhile I am seeing many Chinese support this regime, I would hate Chinese more than others. As a Chinese, I think our race group should not step back from the duty and just saying that Chinese people are not the CCP member. Because I know a lot of Chinese living in America having green card and espousing the Chinese government. They are vested interest. And I know a lot of Chinese living abroad and teaching their children Chinese identity. Even their children get American passports. So I'm very shameful of my race. We should say sorry for every innocent person who is influenced by the Chinese virus. And I think the Chinese government should pay the cost and should pay huge amount of compensation to America. I hereby launch a movement called Say Sorry to America. If you are living in America, you should love America, this country, and hate the Chinese government. If you can't make it, go back to your country. No one can serve two masters.
Quando sei lontana sogno l'orizzonte manca le parole. Sì, lo so che non c'è luce in una stanza quando manca il sole. Se non ci sei tu con me. Sulle finestre mostra tutti il mio cuore. Chiudi dentro me la luce che ho incontrato per strada. Time to say goodbye. Paesi che non ho mai passato con te. Adesso sì vivrò con te. Partirò sulle navi per mari che non ho mai. Non esistono più. Adesso sì vivrò con te. Partirò sulle navi per mari che non ho mai. Adesso sì vivrò con te.
Que estaban ellos haciendo la compra, que te dije, van de calle, no de calle, es que le van llevando la compra a la señora.
Bueno, ahora mismo en Gijón, en la calle Pérez de Ayala. Qué grandes son, madre mía.
A ver.
അതായത് ഞങ്ങൾ കൈ കാരണം സൗകര്യം ഉണ്ടാക്കിയതാണ്. അത് സോപ്പ് കിട്ടി. ഇനി എവിടെ പോയി ഇറങ്ങുമ്പോൾ കൊടുത്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പോയാൽ 2000 കൊറോണന്റെ പരിധി വരെ